What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I am the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I am Trunks.
I'm Ortiz.
I'm Dean.
I'm Chris. We have a special guest here. You see on the right of your screen. No longer a member of the podcast. We kicked him off, but we brought him
Only
in
a
as a
guest.
Welcome to the podcast, Dean. I'm
Hello.
sure it's really an honor for you to be here.
Yes, it really is.
but,
First time on.
Anyways, yeah, so special episode today. That's why we had to bring in Dean. We needed some expert analysis for today's episode. Today is the March Madness edition of the BallGame podcast. We're going to give you guys our picks for our brackets and who we have as our winners, who we have in our Final Four, all that stuff. Just a warning to you guys, I've barely watched college basketball this season. I had to do a lot of research over this past weekend. I'm sure that stands for a lot of us on this podcast, except for probably one person. But yeah, I had to do a lot of research for this. But honestly, this is all about luck, because you can know a whole bunch of shit and still have the worst bracket in your pool.
Usually the people that win these things are the ones that know nothing and just pick randomly.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
knowing less is better.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
better.
sometimes knowing less is honestly better. And
What up, Bo Sleazy?
That's why I'm gonna win.
Sleazy, my boy, welcome. Appreciate you for popping out to the live for a little bit yesterday. I appreciate that. But yes, it's obviously knowing a lot does not
Just
necessarily
in this
mean
bitch. What up, bro?
What up, DeShields?
what's good, baby.
Dino, you're lagging crazy.
You are lagging like crazy, just letting you know. But yes,
There's nothing I can do about it.
It's not terrible, but it's a little bit there.
I think it's a little delayed. That's the thing.
We get right now.
But yeah, so obviously knowing a lot isn't necessarily conducive to you actually having the best bracket. And of course, it always ends up happening to everyone that at some point within the first two rounds, your entire bracket gets fucked over. So very excited to give you guys our picks. And Chris thinks he's going to make
roasting my
bracket
fucking
too.
Wi-Fi. I know it's bad, bro. I know.
But yeah, so
Wi-Fi poo-poo.
we'll obviously start with the round of 64, the first round and
What a
stuff.
good spot.
What
to
an
start.
obvious idea.
That's a great idea.
And then we'll go down from there. But we're gonna also have our consensus bracket. And by the way, follow us on all of our socials, leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Also, if you haven't already, check out hit us up for more information about potentially joining our March Madness pool. Obviously, we'd love to have a bunch of you guys joining. We already have around 30 people, if not a little more.
We're
There's
35 now.
Are we really? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have first, second, and third place prizes. So definitely think you should join that. It's going to be a good time. Bunch of us in there. Hop in the Discord as well. During March Madness, we'll probably be talking about this stuff, I'm assuming. So if we all hop in the Discord, talk about some stuff, it'll be a fun time. So definitely join that bracket, $25 buy-in. And yeah, you get to play against us. So we're going to have a consensus bracket for the BallGame podcast as well. So whatever picks we make, we're going to turn that into our own bracket. That's going to be in there as well. We're splitting it 5 ways, obviously. So we'll go from there. But
Deadpool says there's 5 people in here, but there aren't 5 likes. Deadpool makes a great point.
Yo.
If you're in here right now, like the stream. The Shields ask, why isn't Dean here? The weather's shitty. Dean would have been coming from Jersey, so we decided to sit this one out. Also, we kicked him off the podcast. And
It's not worth dying.
Bardo's in here, and he says he's fading Sully's bracket. I think that's an excellent choice, Bardo.
Good choice.
thanks, Bart. Appreciate
So
you,
we're
man.
also going to be entering this bracket that we make here into the BallGame bracketology.
Yeah. Dean, I'm so happy you said that, because I think someone not even a minute ago said the same exact thing as you. So.
Yo, Alan Lazard just agreed to a 4-year, $44 million with the Jets.
Yo,
Okay.
Sid, you know what that means? Absolutely fucking nothing, because Aaron Rodgers is going to retire.
It doesn't mean nothing, actually.
Okay.
Shield says
He's
I'm
gonna
a
go.
Shield says I'm a
Whatever.
traitor wearing a UConn sweater. Brother, they're not even in the tournament, brother.
Yeah, the UNC. is
I was
not.
gonna wear my Joel Berry jersey, but I said nah.
Real
can't
quick,
do that.
before we hop into it, what do you think about them declining the invite to the NIT? I
I don't
think,
really care.
yeah, exactly.
mean-
okay, that's what I figured. What do you guys think about that? Like, is there any
I don't know.
thoughts?
No
or-
thoughts.
They're not expected to be in the United.
No thoughts. I hope everyone comes back though. They're saying Caleb Love might try and go pro. I hope he stays another year. I'd love to run it back. Armando and RJ Davis. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. Armando and RJ Davis said they're probably coming back, but Caleb Love might go pro. So we'll see what happens. It's fucked up that people are blaming Hubert Davis. So he gets some blame, but not all. It's a collective group effort. The roster wasn't great by any means. They overachieved last year.
Yes.
The players didn't show up. The coaching wasn't great either. It was an all-around failure on everyone's part, though. No one in specific gets the blame. The Pete Nance thing did not work out like people expected it to. So,
yeah, for sure. So, definitely tough on UNC. The preseason #1, the title favorite. Man, it's tough to see that. But
How
first time
68 teams make March Madness, and they're not one of them.
it's the first
crazy.
time in history of college ball
68
that's
teams.
ever happened. So,
Well, Chris, can
crazy.
you explain like why some of those lower teams are able to make it, but teams that are maybe even almost ranked don't make it?
If you win your conference tournament, you automatically get in.
So there's like hella conferences.
It's 32 of the teams are at large, like conference.
And how do they decide the other 32? Just
the committee.
Okay, cool. Because I know like
So-
Rutgers didn't make it, but Rutgers had like a really great.
Rutgers should have been in.
They had a good year, right? So
Rutgers was like the biggest snub,
Rutgers
right?
should have been in. Yeah, Rutgers had a phenomenal year. They should have been in.
they were ranked like 26, 27. Like
Yeah,
they
no,
were
they
top
should have
30.
been.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy that they're not in. Like
That's
huge snub.
wild that
Huge
they were
snub.
ranked that high and yet didn't make the tournament. But
They're also saying once Iona loses, that Rick Pitino is going to go to St. John's.
I
which is
wouldn't
pretty
be
crazy.
surprised. Yeah, Rick Pitino's going to get a bigger job. So
St. John's would be crazy if he could get St. John's back in the tournament.
Iona's going to be in this tournament most likely. I mean, if they win it's last four in, is it
Who?
not?
No, they're in.
Iona's in.
They're in.
Iona's in it, yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, so here we go. We'll start with some of our picks. We'll start in the South region. Do we want to go full first round and then we'll hop into the second round, or do we
Yeah.
want to go?
I think
division?
we go
First round.
region by region,
Yeah. Oh, the whole thing?
not up until the final four. Get a
Okay.
final four team from each region. I think it's easier to follow along like that
Okay.
if we go region by region.
Okay. All right. So we'll go region by region. Before we get into the picks, actually, I'd prefer that we throw out who we think is a player to watch in this tournament, each of us.
So
So,
did you want to do that? I figured we'd do because we have one player from each region, right?
yes. You want
So
to
why don't we
all at
do
once?
it? No, why don't we do it as the team comes up?
Okay. All right. Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
fair.
saying?
That's fair.
If Chunks has a guy on Maryland that he thinks is a player to watch, when we talk about Maryland, talk about that. We just
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it throughout the podcast.
I see Amari Bailey on there and DeShields. I definitely agree with that. He's not my pick, but I definitely agree with that. But we're starting off in the South region, and the first seed Alabama Crimson Tide versus the 16 seed.
Well,
Texas A&M,
Yeah.
Corpus Christi, or I think that's Southern Missouri.
you got the best draft
It is. It's
prospect in college
Southeast
basketball
Missouri.
right there. Brandon Miller.
Right. Yes.
You got to keep an eye on him. You got it. He's
So that's your pick.
That's my pick. It's out like it's an easy pick. You have to have him on your list. Like he's a
I
guy
think
everyone's gonna
we're-
be watching. He would be the first overall if you didn't have generational prospects like Victor and Scoot.
People are trying to make it a
Like,
real conversation
yeah.
with Miller and
Yes.
Scoot right now. I have some notes on Brandon Miller. Just a little tidbit. He's however tall he is, 6'9", 6'10".
6'10",
Bro, he's
yeah.
shooting 40% on 7 3-point attempts a game. And the concern with Brandon Miller in the beginning of the season was he was shooting great from 3, but around the basket and in 2-point range, it wasn't very good. But as the season's gone on, he's improved his off the dribble game, his finishing. The best player in college basketball, in my
Easily.
opinion.
Yeah.
Very good rebounder.
Yeah.
Does a lot of. He's a good defender as well.
Yeah.
He's got length.
Like obviously they have the legal trouble going on, but right now
Yeah,
it
that's a
seem-
bit of an issue.
it's an issue, but right now it seems like it's been put to the side.
I
Kind
mean,
of.
that'd be a crazy story if they, went through all that mid-season just to, go all the way and make it to the final.
Or it'd be a crazy story if they get bounced in the first weekend.
That'd be
so,
Yeah.
So yeah,
But they clear the 16 seed here.
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
all
I
in
think
agreement.
I think we're all in consensus, Alabama.
I think this is the bare
Yeah,
minimum.
I think
for-
so.
Obviously, bare minimum for them. So, I think we can move on from that. The second matchup, and this is where I want to highlight a player. This is I kind of wanted to highlight some guys that are less talked about. My player is Trey Mitchell for West Virginia. Forward, he's about 6'7". He's their leading rebounder, averages about 11.6 points, 5.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists. He's a good defender. For a team that is one of the better teams overall on defense in the country. So 47% from the field, 38% from three. He's and 79 from the line. So his splits are incredibly efficient as well. I think that he's going to be the key. And 5 out of his last 6 games, he's scored in double figures, 3 of which being 17 or more. And it's no surprise that they have had a very good stretch with their only 2 losses in those 6 games being against the number 1 seed Kansas Jayhawks in the other region. So I think they're putting it together. I have them beating Maryland personally.
I also took West Virginia.
In this game.
I took West Virginia in this game too.
Bracket. Well, I took Maryland here.
I took Maryland also.
Okay.
I think you make great points. West Virginia just, Bob Hudgens normally puts a team together that gets it together around this time, and I just don't see that with this team. They're okay defensively, but they're not West Virginia defensively. Maryland, I think, is a better defensive team. They actually press for most of the game, which is interesting because that's normally West Virginia's bread and butter. Jameer Young, the senior guard for Maryland, is having a good season. He's averaging 16 points per game, but it's a toss-up. So I personally have Maryland in this game, but I think consensusly we said
West
West Virginia advances.
Yes. Okay. The 5 seed San Diego State versus the 12 seed College of Charleston. Yes. I can't even pronounce their name, and yet here I am picking them as the 12 seed over the 5 seed San Diego State. Never trust the Mountain West when it comes to the tournament. It's that simple.
I also have Charleston here.
Cool. 12 over the 5.
This is also a 12 that I pick. I picked Charleston to beat San Diego State.
I have San Diego State. I think this is a pretty pick. People like Charleston because they shoot the ball well, but that San Diego State defense is nothing to mess around with. They're fifth in adjusted defensive efficiency. What else about San Diego State? They're 14th defense rating overall, so I just think their defense is going to be too much for Charleston. Charleston doesn't really have like a go-to guy. They kind of do it more from a team aspect, sharing the rock and stuff like that. And I think San Diego State has the guys to match up with them.
So you said that Charleston also. So here's the thing. Obviously, I'm arguing for Charleston, but they actually shoot a bunch of threes, but aren't very efficient on said threes. They actually shoot 33% from 3, which actually isn't really one of the best marks in the tournament, but they score a fuck ton of points. They score 81 points per game, which is one of the best offenses overall in terms of points per game in the tournament. And they rebound the hell out of the ball too. They're one of the better rebounding teams in the tournament as well. So
17th in the country in offensive rebounds per game.
Yes.
I decided
And their
to.
defense isn't too bad either.
No, it
Defense
definitely
is
gets the
nothing to
job
slouch
done.
at.
Yeah, right here it says 99.1 defensive efficiency, but I will say their level of competition is not near what a lot of these other teams in the tournament play. So I take that a little bit with a grain of salt, but
I chose San Diego State, but it seems like Charleston is the
trendy upset pick a little bit too. So all right. So the number 4 Virginia Cavaliers versus Furman.
I'm sorry. So we had consensus Charleston.
Yeah.
Yes. You, me, and Ortiz picked them. So
Okay, cool.
Virginia versus Furman. The number 4 Virginia Cavaliers versus the number 13 Furman. What is even like their like?
I have Furman.
So
Really?
Furman scores a lot of points, bro. 82 points a game. Furman
Yes.
puts up. The problem is they let go 71, and a lot of the times when you're not putting up the 82, you're gonna lose. But against a team like Virginia, I'm gonna take Virginia. They're a team that's always in the tournament. Experienced coaching staff. They've been there before, so I'm gonna go Virginia.
Yeah, they're always going defense. I took Virginia too.
So I have Furman. 2-pointers is in here. He said Furman is the upset team. I agree with 2-pointers. I saw his bracket video today. Go check that out. Anyone here? 2-pointers, knows ball. But Furman, I mean, they're first in the country in 2-point percentage.
Yes,
they
they
run
are.
a Princeton offense. Virginia is great defensively, but I think the Princeton offense, all the backdoor cuts, the back screens, I think that could throw them in for a loop. And I just don't trust that Virginia offense. And my player to watch actually is Jalen Slauson from Furman. Averages 16 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, shoots 55% from the field and 39% from three. A 6'7", 200-pound wing. So think he could give Virginia some trouble.
They actually shoot 59.1% from two,
Yeah.
to be
That's
exact, which
crazy.
is
That's
ridiculous
nuts.
numbers.
That's
And
nuts.
Yeah.
also 3 guys on their team is averaging 12, 3, and 3
Yeah.
or better. So it's definitely a good team.
10th
But
in
I
the country in
personally,
effective field goal percentage. Like their offense is legit.
yes, it is. I personally took Virginia, though. Took number 4 Virginia. Although I do see why everyone is picking the number 13
I
Furman
do
here.
too, and I also went with Virginia here.
So since we have Virginia advancing, I'll just spoil this now because it's not going to be in our consensus bracket. But Furman was my Cinderella team. And this was actually before I watched the 2-pointers thing earlier this morning, but that just kind of gave me more confidence in it. But Furman, me and Joe Cruz bet on Furman the other night when you pulled up to
Yeah.
Hobra. Once we watched Furman while I was working, I was like, yeah, this is a team. I don't care who they play. They get into the tournament. I'm picking them to win 2 games. So I actually, in my bracket, I have Furman beating San Diego State in the next round. So
Wow.
Nice,
and
solid.
definitely stay on the lookout for Jalen Slauson.
You mentioned them when you went live on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris went live the other day. It popped off, so keep on the lookout for that when we go live. Yeah, Virginia moves on. We got Creighton and what is it? North Carolina
North
State
Carolina State.
Wolfpack.
State, yep.
All right. What do we got?
I have Creighton, and I think this should be an easy pick.
Yes,
I
I
have
also have
Creighton.
Creighton.
I have NC State.
I think that
I also have Creighton.
I think brackets like anything could happen, but I think that's a wild pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. NC State's cool. I love Terquavion Smith, but I don't know, man. Creighton just has all the metrics of a national championship contending team, and they're pretty severely underseeded at 6, in my opinion. They had a rough stretch in the middle of the season there where they lost 5 or 6 straight, so I think that contributed to their low seed. But I think Creighton's one of the most legit teams in the country. In my opinion,
The only
I
thing I'll
just-
say about Creighton, I'm sorry, it cut off. I didn't hear you.
but I think having Creighton as a 6 seed in this region, like in my opinion, this was the toughest region for me. I think that there's the most talented teams in this region specifically.
Yeah, for sure. I only picked North Carolina State because of Smith and Joyner. Because the two of them at any given moment can get incredibly hot and both average more than 17 points per game. There's not many teams in college basketball that could boast that with 2 players. So I at least picked them to have 1 win. They force a lot of turnovers, although Creighton is actually pretty damn good at limiting their turnovers. But I decided that I'd pick NC State because of the 2 guys that have the ultimate firepower. And that was my only reason, really. It was tough. Definitely thought about this game for a little while, but yeah, I picked NC State in the end. So
I'm not, I'm not saying they wouldn't beat North Carolina State because I think they do, but and this might be more of a testament to Xavier, but that loss in the Big East tournament was pretty bad, losing by 22 points on a pretty big stage. So I wouldn't be surprised if it affected them going into the tournament. You're not really going in on the highest of notes after getting creamed in your own conference tournament. So
that is very true. They played their worst game of the season. Yes, I definitely agree with that statement, Dean. So, but yeah,
I think the NCAA tournament is a lot of momentum.
yes.
So who knows?
One win or loss can definitely vault you quite a bit, give you a lot of
Right.
confidence.
I mean, it's not like
that,
NC
so.
State really did
No,
much
they
in their
didn't- they didn't
conference,
finish
and they
incredibly
played in a
high.
worse conference by far.
No, I think they are better and they'll still win. But I think you might see some effects of that.
But yeah, so there's our 6 versus 11. Consensusly, we take Creighton, obviously 4 versus 1. And then we have the number 3 seed Baylor versus the number 14 seed UCSB.
This one's easy.
Santa Barbara. I'm taking Baylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, I'm also going Baylor here.
I do also have Baylor here.
I also have Baylor here too,
Yeah.
but UC Santa Barbara, they're not bad. They're not bad. They could give Baylor a run for their money.
Yes, they definitely can. Baylor also it seems as though like their reputation follows them a little bit here because people still think that they have like a good defense. It isn't exactly a good defense at all
They have a good
by
offense,
any means.
though, right?
They have a
Great
very
offense.
good offense,
They're
arguably
the
the second best
behind
offense in the
Gonzaga.
country. Yes, arguably the second best offense in the country. They average 77 points per
Yeah.
game, but they're also giving up 70 points per game. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, overall Baylor in terms of offense is one of the best in the entire nation. So I'm definitely taking Baylor to at least win one game. That's what I'd say. Consensus Baylor, all of us pick.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
The number 7 seed Missouri versus the number 10 seed Utah State. Who we got?
I got Utah State here.
I also have
I
Utah
took
State.
Utah State.
I also have Utah State.
Wow, I was the only one that picked Missouri here. Cool. Yeah, not much to say about that one, honestly. I haven't watched both teams at all.
Utah State has 5 guys who average 10 plus points.
Yep.
They have a guy, Steve Ashworth, who averages 16.3 points per game, 44% from 3 on 7.2 attempts, and they're 14th in the country in offensive rating. So I think they're going to get hot. Missouri is a great offense too, though.
Yes, but also one of the worst defenses in the entire country, and one of the worst rebounding teams in the entire country as well. So those things don't go unnoticed. They're giving up 74.2 points per game, and then Utah State can score. So if they and 39% overall as a team from 3-point range is kind of wild against the bad defense. Could get out of hand. I think this could
Missouri's
be like
proven they could beat top teams, though. already
yes,
this
oh,
year.
for sure. Missouri, when they're playing well, is one of the most dangerous teams in the country, but they're so hit or miss. That seems to be what it has been for them at least the entire season. So finished with what, a 26-8 record or something like that? 24-9.
Wow.
So yeah.
So there's a stat on them actually. 5 straight first-round exits dating back to 2011 for Missouri.
God damn. That's crazy.
It's not good.
But yeah, no, it's not. Definitely not. Didn't Utah State make a run a couple years ago? I swear to God, I thought they won a couple games in the tournament.
Maybe
Made
they
it to
won
like
a
the Sweet
game.
16. But anyways, okay, the 2 versus the 15. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Arizona, the 2 seed, and Princeton, the 15 seed.
Taking Zona.
I'm taking Arizona.
Arizona.
Baby.
Yeah,
Arizona.
it's that
Solid.
simple.
So before we continue, Dean and Ortiz, we talked about every team in this region, and you guys didn't give your player to watch from this region.
So my player was. It seemed kind of pretty obvious, I guess. It was Brandon Miller. But we already touched him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We already touched.
We
yeah,
touched
already
him.
touched.
Yeah,
No
that's pretty
way.
crazy.
All 3 of you picked Brandon Miller.
You and Brandon Miller also?
Yep.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
I figured that was
makes
going to be a
sense. Yeah, makes
problem.
sense.
I figured that was going to be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you can't
tried
get
to
mad
make
at us
all my
for not
That's
saying
exactly
it.
why I made my
You
guys
talked
like
about it,
very
but
under
yeah.
the radar. That's why I did that. So, okay, here we go. Second round, the round of 32. We have Bama versus our consensus bracket would be West Virginia. But you said before, Chris, that you had you didn't have Bama losing, but your Cinderella team, I just want to cover that one more
Furman.
time, was Furman. Okay, to make it to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8.
The Sweet 16.
Okay, cool.
Furman ain't beating no Alabama. You crazy?
Originally, I actually had Alabama losing to West Virginia, but after thinking about it, I was like, that's just not logical enough right now. So, Bama versus West Virginia, consensusly, we have Alabama moving on to the round of 16, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
I had Maryland.
Breaking news: the Cowboys just got Stephon Gilmore.
What?
I thought
That's
you were about
pretty
to say
cool.
Diggs, bro.
No,
My heart
Damn.
stopped. Did you
Thought
see
so,
all that
too, for a
stuff?
second.
Diggs
I didn't see that.
unfollowed the Bills on Instagram
Oh, yeah, they're
and
done. They
then
seem to be
followed
done.
the Cowboys and all the Cowboys players and stuff. And his mom reposted a jersey swap of him in a Cowboys jersey.
That's
Yeah.
amazing as a Jet fan to hear.
Sorry,
I
I
thought you were
Googled
about to
you.
say Diggs, bro. Oh my
Nah,
goodness.
Gilmore.
I mean, that's still a big move for the Cowboys, bro, to pair up Diggs, well, Trayvon, and then Stephon Gilmore. So that's a big move for them. But
Wow, they have
um,
Stephon and Diggs.
oh my God,
Now they just need Stephon Diggs.
Maybe that was the idea.
that was the idea. But okay, all right. So consensusly for our next matchup, we have the College of Charleston versus number 4 seed University of Virginia. I actually have the College of Charleston making it to the round of 16.
So do I, Sully.
I as well.
Wow.
I
Okay.
I mean, you guys already cleared the consensus,
Right,
but I
yeah.
would take Charleston in this game also.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
I
I
had Virginia beating.
don't like
State, though.
Virginia, bro.
Yeah.
It's just not hitting the same.
No, it's not
Virginia.
pedigree Virginia basketball we're used to watching.
What up, Bardo? What's going
The
on?
offense just ain't the same for
No.
Virginia.
No. Their
So-
defense has been one of the best in the nation.
The
but
defense is always
per
the defense is
usual,
always
yeah.
the same. It's always a very big turnover oriented.
Yeah, I just feel like
defense.
there's ways to beat Virginia's defense.
Yes, for sure.
Like going back to it, that's why I had Furman beating Virginia's defense because it's a very pressure heavy defense. So Furman runs the Princeton with backdoor cuts and stuff like that. So I think that could be Virginia's kryptonite. Same thing with Charleston. Like I said, it's not one guy beating you. It's a bunch of guys that you have to account for at all times. So I would lean Charleston here.
for sure. Okay, so next up we have the number 6 seed Creighton versus the number 3 seed Baylor. Who do we have moving on?
I have Creighton here. I love Baylor. Before the bracket came out, I was saying I'm taking Baylor to my Final Four no matter what, but Creighton is a tough draw for them. And honestly, I just don't think Baylor has any answer for what's his name? Ryan Kay, the center for Baylor. I'm not even going to try to pronounce Kalkbrenner, maybe?
Ryan Kelly.
Kalkbrenner. They have great guard play too from Creighton. Obviously, Baylor, you can make the argument, has the best guard play in the country. I love
Yes.
Adam Flagler. Keontae George is
Keontae
very high on
George.
my draft big board, but Creighton, you can make the argument, has the guards to go right at them. Love Ryan Nemhard, man.
So yeah, speaking of us not having the same thing as the consensus, I obviously had North Carolina State winning my first round matchup. I actually also had North Carolina State beating Baylor. And that was just what I wanted to throw out there. I currently have North Carolina State beating Baylor, but we as a group have what? Creighton beating Baylor?
I'm the only one
have
with that.
I have Baylor.
Okay, you all have Baylor.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think there's the pedigree of Baylor's team. They still have 6 people from that national championship team. I think the
They do.
pedigree is going to.
You know who's one of them? There's a song named after someone with a similar name to it.
Flo Thamba.
Of course.
Flo Thamba.
2 pointers you just made his day, Matt, because he's an NC State fan.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, I have them in my Sweet 16, bro. But unfortunately not going further than that. But yeah, okay, so here we go. We have Baylor beating Creighton. I would personally take Creighton in that matchup if I were to take either one of those teams. I'm taking Creighton. I'm not a believer in Baylor, unfortunately. I don't see it with them, even though they have, as you said, 2 of the best guards in the nation. So Arizona versus Utah State, the number 2 seed versus the number 10 seed. I had Arizona moving on. I didn't really do too much thinking about this one.
Agreed.
Yep.
Definitely going Arizona.
Yep.
Okay. So now we're in the Sweet 16. We have number 1 Alabama versus number 12 College of Charleston.
Bama.
It was the sweetest of runs for
Yeah, I think this
Charleston,
is where it ends.
but this is where it ends.
Unless
You know what? I'm fucking stamping it. I think this is where it continues. Alabama's run is over. College of Charleston in the Elite 8. They're the Cinderella, the ultimate Cinderella this year.
Yeah, well, it doesn't
That's,
matter.
That's cute.
We
bro.
all got Bama.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
I
buddy.
respect the take, but
Yeah,
I have Bama.
I just don't think Charleston got the size, bro. They don't got the size, man. Brendan Miller, Noah Clowney down there.
It's not the size of the fight in the dog. It's the size of the dog in the fight.
Yeah,
It's the other way around.
6'10",
big
bro.
dog,
It's the
That's
size
a
of the
big
fight in the
dog.
dog, not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the other. Yeah, it's that way that I just said. I just
good
fucked
job, buddy.
myself. But yeah,
So
Alabama's in
Bama.
the next round overall. For
Bama.
us, so
Woof
unfortunately.
woof.
But let's go Charleston, man. I'm believing in you in my bracket. Okay, and the other side of the bracket, we have simple. It's the 2 versus the 3. Arizona versus Baylor. Who we got? I had Arizona.
Arizona
have
makes
Arizona.
easy work of Baylor.
I agree with that
Arizona.
statement.
I also have Arizona. Let's go.
I think
Sweet.
Arizona beats Baylor by like 15 plus. Creighton's a better matchup for Arizona.
I agree with that.
Baylor has no answers for Arizona's bigs.
So, okay, here we go. This is a big one now. We have Arizona, the number 2 seed, versus Alabama, the number 1 seed. Who we got?
I have Arizona. I think it's pretty simple. They're 5th in the country in points per game, 9th in rebounds, 2nd in assists, which I think is huge. Share the wealth, man. Get everyone involved. Everyone got to eat. 11th in the country in 2-point percentage, 17th in the country in 3-point percentage, 4th in the country in offensive rating. The thing that might be concerning is the defense. The defensive rating without adjustments is 38th, which could be a problem. But me personally, I watched them against UCLA the other night. My eyes were glued to that game. And a guy who jumped off the screen for me was Pell Larson. I hope I'm saying his name right. Number 3, if you want to call him that. But he's 6'5", 208, and he got the assignment of really guarding Hami Jaquez in that game. And, Hami Jaquez is one of the best players in the country. He's going to do his thing regardless.
To be mentioned.
But I think Pell Larson is the X factor for Arizona. If he's making threes and guarding well, I mean, he shoots 35% from 3. And then another note I had, the Arizona rotation guys outside of the big men, Spallo and Tabelis, shoots 38.7% from 3.
Overall.
So I
I
trust them. I trust them to make threes. So
they shoot 50% as a team. And their assist to turnover is one of the best in the nation at 1.42. So a lot of the things that you would want out of a team that could win a national championship, Arizona has. So yeah.
I took Arizona too.
So we all have Arizona as our final 4 pick.
Took Arizona. Yep.
we all had Arizona.
Wow. Holy shit. Okay.
Shout out Kerr Kriisa, bro. Imagine being named after Steve Kerr.
I remember when I picked Arizona a couple years ago.
They always
in the
in the
national
front. I've been picking
championship
First
Arizona.
round.
with
Right.
fucking DeAndre
Yeah, me
Ayton
too.
and
I
Alonzo
did
Trier. Oh my god, the
Yep.
former Nick.
Alonzo
Alonzo Trier, whatever.
Alonzo
the
Trier.
fuck.
He was a bucket. He just could never play defense,
Alonzo
bro.
Trier. Yeah, no.
Alonzo
Alonzo
He
Trier.
never figured out defense.
ISO Zo.
They
Yeah,
lost the
ISO
15th
Zo,
seed.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
ISO Zo. Where the fuck is he right now, bro?
Not
Fine,
in the NBA.
huh?
But yeah,
He hasn't been in the league in a couple years.
Good for Alonzo. Hope Alonzo Trier's doing
doing
good
well.
things in
Yeah,
life.
I hope he is too, man. I love Alonzo Trier.
I love
He's
Alonzo.
not.
Lot of love for Alonzo.
Oh, he's in the G League.
G League.
Oh, okay,
Iowa
good.
Wolves.
He's
cool.
probably getting buckets in the G League.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
What are stats?
Um,
I'm sorry.
All right, so we're going east next.
Yeah, we'll go East next. Give me 1 second, Dean. I kind of want to know his G League stats. I'm not.
No,
gonna
you're
lie.
good.
Why can't I see his G League?
I was
stats?
just curious.
It's not that big of a deal, I guess. If you find it, you find it. Okay, so now we're in the East, and with that, number 1 seed Purdue, number 16 seed Texas Southern, or Fairleigh Dickinson.
Well,
Shout out Fairleigh Dickinson, man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking
Tap
Purdue
in,
though,
Yeah.
personally.
Think Purdue wins here. Eddie Boy says he got Baylor beating Arizona. The Big 12 is stronger than the Pac-12, but I just don't think Baylor has an answer for the Arizona Bigs. I think it's as simple as that.
2 pointers. This region is weird. This region is very
Frank
weird.
Sajak's in here.
Frank
Oh,
Sajak. Hey,
shout
Shout
out
out Fairleigh
Pee-wees.
Dickinson.
Let's
Hi,
go. What up,
Um,
Frank?
Love you, buddy. Okay, so here we go. The number 8 seed Memphis versus the number 9 seed Florida Atlantic University. Surprised to see FAU here.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, in a good way. Like they deserve to be here, but just I'm surprised that
You think they
FAU
should
is
be higher?
in the tournament. They were 31-3, and they were really good.
They're underseeded.
They
Yeah.
are very
Bro,
underseeded.
this matchup is so stupid.
It's just like
This matchup is dumb.
I didn't take them. I took Memphis.
This
took
matchup
Memphis.
is
I also
dumb,
took
though.
Memphis.
His point
This-
was
I mean,
I took
AP
They deserve to.
it's about
Yeah,
to
they just did the AP poll going into the tournament, and they were both top 25 teams.
yeah, they were 24 and 25.
Playing in an 8-9
playing in an
matchup
8-9
is crazy.
is fucking
22 pointers.
wild, bro. But yeah, I personally took Memphis.
Yeah, I have
I
Memphis.
had FAU, but Memphis. Is
I have
competitive.
FAU, man. FAU has guard play. They're just more balanced to me. I think Memphis's offense could be streaky. Outside of if Kendrick Davis isn't playing his best ball, then I see them going one and done and losing this game. And they're not a great rebounding team either, Memphis. And FAU is actually one of the better rebounding teams in the country.
I don't believe FAU has many players taller than 6'4", though. I'm
They
pretty
don't.
sure. Yeah, I think there's only 2 players in the rotation that's taller than 6'4".
But
Yeah, it
neither
says it
does
right here.
Memphis.
Only 2 players
Memphis
taller
doesn't
than
really have
6'4".
Yeah,
much height in the rotation either.
Well, talking about height, there's one guy that I wanted to talk about from this region that we skipped, and I forgot to talk about them. Zach Edey, bro, from Purdue, 7'4", averaging 22 and 13, bro, off 60% shooting. there ain't many guys in college that are going toe to toe with fucking 7'4". You know what
Can
I mean?
correct you?
What's up?
Can I correct you on that?
Correct me.
There's no one who is going toe to
Yeah.
toe with Zach
Well,
Edey. in
That's
this
what I was
tournament.
getting at. Right.
No
exactly.
one.
So
No one.
And it's not even like he's just big. Like he's actually skilled.
Over the years, he's developed immensely.
Yes. Yes. He's
His
not
passing
just
vision
big.
has gotten better. No, he's a good player, man.
So shout out
Like
to
the
Zach
best player
Edey,
in
bro.
college basketball right now, right?
He is.
Yeah.
Yes, in my opinion, yes, Zach Edey is the best player in college basketball.
He was my my player too. I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie.
You motherfuckers got to stop taking the best player. Stop doing that.
All right, I don't have any more of the best players. I don't
Um,
think so.
Okay. So yeah,
I do.
You guys all have Memphis?
We consensusly took Memphis, the three of us.
Consensusly, yes.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
Memphis.
Dean,
Damn,
you have
that's-
FAU or Memphis?
FAU, yeah.
So do I. But with
Go ahead and
with
say what you're gonna
Memphis
say.
advancing, I have FAU beating Purdue in the next round. I really like what this FAU team does. I just think they're balanced on both ends of the floor. They shoot the 2-ball well. They shoot the 3-ball well. They defend well. They have a 7-1 big man out of Russia, Vlad Golden, 7'1", 240, and no one is stopping Zach Edey. But there's not many teams in the country who have a 7'1", 240-pound man out of Russia. So will Vlad stop Zach Edey? Absolutely not. But also, I just don't.
Vlad the Impaler.
I don't trust the freshman guards from Purdue really, and honestly, I trust these FAU guards. They have two guys. The one guy I wanted to point out from this region, Janelle Davis, averaging 13.5 points per game. He shoots 50% from the field, 39% from three, 84% from the free throw line. I mean, he's just a good player. But his backcourt mate too, Elijah Martin, both great players. So both averaging, honestly, identical stats almost, about 13 points per game, shooting 50% from the field and about 40% from three. So
Yes, sir.
FAU over Purdue. Trust.
Okay. So on to the next matchup. We have the number 5 seed Duke Blue Devils versus the number 12 seed and formerly the number 16 seed that defeated the number 1 seed Virginia Cavaliers
That was crazy.
for the first ever. Was it? Or no, that was UMBC.
UMBC.
This was a
UMBC.
15 seed to beat. Was it Kentucky?
No, they beat Ohio State, I'm pretty sure. in the
Yes, a
first
15
round.
seed that beat the 2 seed. This was Oral Roberts. Yes. Okay. So they made history as well. That's one of the very times that actually happened in the past. So with that being said, I took Duke.
I took Duke as well.
I took Duke.
I took Duke also.
Okay. So
Okay.
before we move on from this one, make your pick. I'm sorry.
I have Duke.
Okay. Before we move on from that one, the player that I picked for this conference, this division, I picked region. Same shit.
Come on.
I picked Jeremy Roach, guard out of Duke, averaging 13.3 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 3.1 assists, shooting 42% from the field, 34.1% from three, and 77 from the line. And the reason I picked Jeremy Roach, obviously, those stats do not jump off the page. Duke is currently one of the best defensive teams in the nation. Jeremy Roach is a great point of attack defender. That being said, he sets up the offense. He makes timely shots, and he could create his own shot. Not only that, in their recent 9-game win streak, he has averaged right around 15 points per game, upping his production. And no surprise that they've been winning games when Jeremy Roach has played incredibly well. He's the key to Duke's tournament run, and that's why I picked him.
I completely agree. Trust me, I know. I'm a UNC fan. I've seen him do it to us. Jeremy Roach has been playing out of his mind lately.
So well deserved. I actually will be speaking a lot.
Yeah. 2-pointer says that winner of Duke Oral Roberts makes the Elite Eight, and then Teddy Boy says Duke's going to the Final Four. So, and he also makes a great point that I had in my notes. Duke is 18-1 when all their players play. I had that in my notes. They only lost once when fully healthy. So, yeah, we'll talk about Duke more later. We'll talk more about Duke.
Okay, so here we go. The number 4 seed Tennessee Volunteers versus the number 13 seed Ragin' Cajuns, University of Louisiana. Who do we got?
I got Tennessee.
I also have Tennessee.
I don't really care much about this game.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say I had Tennessee easily in this one.
I got Tennessee.
Didn't even think about it.
I'm the only one. I took the
Sorry.
Ragin' Cajuns. I have my 13 seed over the 4 here.
Sorry,
Asian
Mr. Cajun.
Why?
So I do believe, Zakai Ziegler torn his
he's out,
ACL. That's a big deal for Tennessee because without him, they have not looked nearly the same on both sides of the ball. And I think that this is going to be a short tournament run without him. I think it'll be a one and done for them. He's that big and he's that important for this team. So without him, I think the Raging Cajuns take the W here. So that was the only reason I had for them losing in the first round. If he's healthy, I can see them making it. Actually, I still see them losing to Duke, but regardless, number 13, University of Louisiana for me. For you guys, consensus, number 4 seed Tennessee. So on to the next one, the number 6 Kentucky Wildcats versus number 11 seed Providence. Who we got?
I have Kentucky here.
Yeah, I took Kentucky.
I also went Kentucky in this one.
And my player to watch is actually a member of the Wildcats.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
One of your favorite players of the country, is it? Oscar
Toshibwe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yo, you know who loves him? DeShields.
He's a
DeShields loves
Kentucky fan.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Is he really? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
I mean,
That's why John Wall was his favorite player.
If DeShields is in this chat right now, DeShields, go
He
ahead and
hasn't,
praise Oscar.
he hasn't said anything.
Go hop in the chat
here
right now
before.
for your guys. Do we have Kentucky unanimously?
No,
No.
I have Providence, and my only note from this game was Bryce Hopkins is looking for revenge. That's all I had.
Okay.
It says here in
Kentucky
their
don't
strengths
move, man.
that holding Bryce Hopkins
Listen,
is no easy task.
Yeah. Definitely. It's just Kentucky is so hit or miss this season. It's tough, but I definitely
They don't
have
make
them
their
at least winning.
threes, they're cooked.
Yes.
I mean, that's
definitely-
any team in March Madness.
Yeah.
So if you don't shoot well from 3, you're cooked.
Yep, pretty much, because the other team is probably going to be lighting it up. Okay, so the number 3 seed Kansas State versus the number 14 seed. Is that Montana State?
Mhm.
Montana State. There we go. Who we got? I took the number 3 seed Kansas State.
I did too.
Sticking
Kansas
with the
City's-
Wildcats, K-State.
K-State's an intriguing team in this tournament. They can honestly make a lot of noise as a number 3 seed.
What team? Wildcats. What?
Wait, so is this the Wildcats versus Wildcats in the next
Yes,
round?
it is.
Nice.
What team? Wildcats.
And
That's
tall.
what I was saying.
I got the Wildcats in that one.
The old high
a
school
good
musical
pick.
It's
reference.
a good pick, Ortiz. Nice, man. Okay, so the number 7 seed Michigan State University versus the number 10 seed USC. Who we got?
I got Michigan State here.
Also have Michigan.
I also have Michigan State.
I have USC.
It's Tom Izzo, man. Tom Izzo, they shoot the ball extremely well from behind the 3-point line. So
They have
I
3
tr-
guys that are shooting 42% or better from 3. 39% overall as a team. So yeah, they could shoot the ball. This is a team that like I can
Let
see
Boogie
making a
cook.
deep run that didn't have a great regular season. So just because if you could shoot in the tournament, you could go pretty far.
Says
Okay.
they're a terrible 2-point shooting squad though.
Hey man, but all it takes is some of those threes going down, man.
Threes
And
are better
you
than
go
twos
from there.
at the end of
That's
the
true.
day.
Okay, so the number 2 seed Marquette versus the number 15 seed Vermont. I had Marquette.
Marquette.
I have
Marquette's having a 6 season.
Okay, here we go. Up next, the number 1 seed Purdue. Consensusly, we picked Memphis as the number 8 seed. Moving on here, I had Purdue.
Purdue.
Staying with Purdue.
Fair enough.
Purdue advances. Who
In this game, obviously, you didn't have
I had
FAU.
Purdue.
You would take Purdue over Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay. The number 4 seed Tennessee versus the number 5 seed Duke.
I got Duke.
I got the Duke Blue Devils. Moving on.
Blue
think
Devils. Yep.
Clears easily. Yeah.
Okay. The number 6 seed Kentucky versus the number 3 seed Kansas State. Wildcats versus Wildcats, as you said before.
The Wildcats.
I have Kentucky here.
I have Kentucky as well.
I'm going Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I have Kansas State, man. I just think the offensive firepower with Marcus Noel, however you say his name, and Keontae Johnson, it's just too much. The best alley-oop duo in all of college basketball, actually, Noel and Johnson. So I think,
Pretty interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Kansas State's they've been good all season, man. They were projected to be last in the conference, and
Or not.
they've been good, man. They got the guard play, they got the wing play, they got the coach. Shout out Jerome Tang. So I got Kansas State.
Shout
here.
out Johnny Tang.
That's a fact.
Our assistant.
Shout out Johnny Tang.
Okay, next up we have the number 2 seed Marquette versus the number 7 seed Michigan State University.
I got Marquette.
Definitely
have
going Marquette here. Yep.
I have Michigan State. It's Tom Izzo in March with guards who could shoot the ball. I feel like that's a recipe for a Michigan State team to go far. I think it's as simple as that. Marquette's damn good, man, but I think Michigan State has the guards to match up with them.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have Tyler Kolek, who won Player of the Year, and a tough Big East. But I don't know. It's Tom Izzo, man. Shaka Smart's been disappointing since the VCU run.
I believe that Marquette actually has the best assist to turnover ratio in the nation, or at least in the top 10 for that. So they really don't turn the ball over ever. And I think that's going to matter. And they're one of the most efficient offenses in the entire country. So I think Marquette has the makings of a team that can make a deep playoff run. So overall, we had Marquette moving on, correct?
Yeah.
This was the only one that picked Michigan.
Marquette
State.
also, just one note about them, can't rebound the fucking ball.
That is
Cannot
true.
rebound the ball.
That is very true. They are
Michigan
poor.
State's not really great at rebounding the ball either, but better than Marquette. So
Okay, so I'm actually going to get into that with the next pick. But prior to that, we have the number 1 seed Purdue versus the number 5 seed Duke Blue Devils. I had Duke moving on.
I have Duke.
I also have Duke.
I had Purdue, but overruled.
I got Duke also. They're the hottest team in the country right now. I don't know. They have the size to throw at Zach Edey with Lively. They have a guy in Flipowski who, if you run him at the small 5,
Yep.
he could stretch him out. If you're able to stretch out Zach Edey, I think it's going to be a rough time for Purdue. And Duke has the guards to make life extremely uncomfortable for those freshman guards at Purdue. So
Yes, they do. Okay, so the number 2 seed Marquette versus the number 6 seed Kentucky Wildcats. And this is where I had Marquette's season ending. I have the Kentucky Wildcats.
So did I. I agree with you. I went Kentucky on this one.
The Wildcats?
Yes, I have Kentucky moving on. So Duke versus Kentucky, some blue bloods
Yeah.
for college.
I would
basketball.
pick Marquette in that game.
I have Marquette.
Really?
You
I
see,
have-
I have USC in that game, so I'm way out of here.
So wait, you have USC in the Elite 8?
No, in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Damn.
You have them losing to Marquette?
No,
No, I have them beating Marquette.
losing to
And-
Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, beating Marquette and losing to Kentucky. Okay. Got it. All right. The reason that I picked them was because, as you mentioned before, they can't rebound the ball, and Oscar Sheboy. I think they're gonna have fucking problems. So that's gonna be an issue. But here we go.
Duke and Kentucky in our Elite 8.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Duke and
Yes.
Kentucky in the Elite 8. The 2 blue bloods, as I said, 5 versus 6 in this case. So
I didn't have this, but in this game, I'll take Duke. Personally,
I actually have exact. No, I have Marquette. No,
I
I'm
did
changing.
not have. Actually, I had Kentucky in this, and I had Purdue going up against them. I had Purdue winning, but in this case, I'm going to take Duke over Kentucky.
I also am taking Duke over Kentucky.
I have Duke in my Final Four, so
I have
well,
Duke
yeah,
in my
Duke.
final
I'm
4 as
taking
well.
Duke.
So wait, do we have Arizona and Duke as our 2 Final Four teams so far?
I
Does
have
anyone else have
I have
that?
Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Wow.
And
All
Dean,
right.
you said you had Purdue, like in your bracket.
Yeah, I had Purdue going up against Kentucky, and I had Purdue winning, going to my Final
Who
Four.
do you have?
from this region, I got Marquette
Okay.
going against Duke. I got Marquette winning.
Okay. So Marquette in your Final Four, Purdue in yours. You have Kentucky in your Final Four, and me and Chris have Duke. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So now on to the other side of the bracket, and here we go. We're in the Midwest now. Number 1 seed Houston versus the number 16 seed Northern Kentucky. I have Houston.
Houston.
Houston's the safe bet here.
Yeah, rather safe. Yes.
Houston.
I'm also going Houston. Yep.
Okay. So the next
And
game.
I'm
was-
sorry,
Go ahead.
the player that I wanted to highlight from this region was Jarris Walker, freshman from Houston, 6'8", 240. He's a projected lottery pick in this year's
Yes,
draft.
he is.
He can't shoot the 3 ball. He can't shoot free throws, but he does everything else good. He averages 6.5 rebounds, a block, a steal. Just someone to look out for going into this year's draft.
For sure. Okay, so here we go. The number 8 seed Iowa Hawkeyes versus the number 9 seed Auburn Tigers. Who do we have winning this game?
I picked Auburn. Yeah, top 10 and no, wait, that's Iowa.
Yep.
Mad good pick. Mad good pick. I
Oh,
picked Iowa.
yeah, I have Iowa.
to win
Dean,
it
who
with
do you
four.
have?
I have Auburn in this
So
one.
I'm the decision
Deciding
maker here.
factor,
Wow,
yeah.
Oh,
bro, I have no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know. who to
Bro,
pick.
I had Iowa when the bracket first came out, but then the game is in Birmingham, however you say that, which is about an hour away
So
from
Auburn.
home for Auburn, and Auburn's one of the better teams at home, so it's tough. I'm gonna go Iowa though. That offense is just too fast paced. I think they're gonna run Auburn off the court.
Yeah, that's the only. And another quick thing about Auburn, they're 3-7 in their last 10. So not exactly going into the tournament hot. But yeah, Iowa is averaging 81.4 points per game, and when they catch fire, it can get out of hand in a hurry. So yeah, I'm taking Iowa for that reason to at least win one game. So okay, here we go. The number 5 seed Miami Hurricanes.
So that was Iowa, right? Sorry.
Yes,
Cool.
Iowa was the consensus, I do believe.
Yeah, off the ball network says Chris Murray. Shout out Chris Murray, man.
Yes, Chris Murray, man.
Good player.
Brother of a hooper in the NBA and Keegan. Miami, number 5 seed versus 12 Drake. Who do we have?
Drake.
OVO.
Drake.
Speaking of,
Listen,
yeah, I picked the rapper in this game.
Yeah.
So I took Drake in this case.
I picked
So,
the rapper as well.
Give me the U.
I have Miami. I just think those guards for Miami are going to be too much for a team like Drake.
Drake.
okay, so this is the
Wait.
player.
Dean, who do you have?
I have Miami.
Oh, the U.
So Miami advances, yeah.
3 of us had. Who else had him?
Me, Ortiz, and Dean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, nice. So the player that I actually wanted to mention was a Miami Hurricane, even though I have them losing. And the reason I'm mentioning him is because if he isn't healthy, this is the reason that I'm picking Drake to move on, and that's Norchad Omir. Because I believe that without him, you lack a physical presence down low. And I think that matters. He's averaging 13.6 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, so close to a double-double, and 1.3 assists and 1.3 blocks per game as well. He's shooting 59% from the field and 71.5 from the free throw line. So he's their lone physical presence, and he's their lone big body, about 6'7", 250. So if he's not playing, Miami's in trouble, in my personal opinion. So third leading scorer and team leader in rebounds and blocks. Okay, so on to the next one, and arguably the best player in the country involved in this game. Number 4, Indiana University versus number 13, Kent State. I picked Indiana.
I did pick Indiana as well.
I picked Indiana as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that really
Indiana.
a really good player just happens to be my player to watch.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Well, Trace Jackson Davis is just obviously a really good athlete. He stuffs the stat sheet, averaging 21, 11, and 4. Let's see, 58% from the field. So he's very efficient in his shots he takes. Just can take over a game in March, and that's what you need when it comes down to when push comes to shove.
Yeah, not only that, he's an elite defender.
So
Yeah,
do
that
I
is-
with Tweezy.
Well, what happened?
Averaging 3
was
blocks
asking
per
with
night,
Tweezy.
2.5. Yeah.
So, okay, all right. Next up we have the number 6 Iowa State Cyclones versus the number 11. Well, that yet to be determined. That game is actually tonight, I believe.
Might be
or
on
maybe
right now.
tomorrow. Mississippi
I think it's
State
on at
versus
6.
the Pittsburgh. What the fuck is that? What is Pittsburgh's mascot? Or like
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh.
Steeler. Huh.
no? All right. So who did we end up taking?
Wow.
I took Iowa State.
I also took Iowa State.
Iowa State.
State.
I have Iowa State also.
Okay. Next up, the 3 versus the 14. We have Xavier versus. It is Kennesaw State. Okay, versus the 14 seed Kennesaw State. So I took Xavier.
Yes, sir.
I have Xavier also.
Yep.
Took Xavier. Yep.
Okay. Next up, the 7-10 Texas A&M Penn State. What do we got? I have Penn State.
We are. I have Penn State.
Give me Penn State in that.
Okay.
I took Penn State.
I have Penn State also. Some notes on Penn State.
3 ball, man.
They're starting 5 seniors. They have 3 guys on their team who shoot over 40% from 3 in Lundy, Funk, and Winter. And I mean, when you have a player who is my player to highlight from this region, like Jalen Pickett, who averages 18 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 7 assists per game, who gets into the paint, can facilitate, and can also finish at the rim, I just think it's a no-brainer here. Penn State could go on a run, man. They could go on a run. I mean, they're the 9th best three-point shooting team in the country overall. The thing about Penn State is they don't turn the ball over much themselves, but they don't force turnovers, which could be a little bit concerning. They don't offensive rebound the ball at all. They don't shoot free throws. They don't get to the free throw line. So could be a reason for concern, but I've been on this Jalen Pickett train for a few weeks now. Trust him to get the job done in this game.
They're arguably the most live and die by the 3 team in the tournament. So we'll have to end up seeing what happens there. But as we mentioned before, that stuff can win you a lot of games.
Yeah.
So number 2 seed Texas versus the number 15 seed Colgate. What do we got?
Texas.
Give me Texas.
Okay.
Yep.
And on to the second round. Were you about to say something, Dean? I'm sorry.
He said,
No, I was agreeing Texas.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the number 1 seed Houston. What is their fucking
Cougars.
Cougar? Yeah. You're right. Versus the number 8 seed Iowa Hawkeyes. Okay. So here we go. I have Houston.
I also have Houston here.
Houston.
Yep. Houston, I agree.
Guards are too physical.
It's got to be mentioned real quick. Marcus Sasser, if he isn't 100% healthy, like changes the entire outlook of the tournament, in my opinion. Because I'm pretty sure he just strained his groin. And it could be if it's worse than that, it could be 4 months, and they're keeping it under wraps at the moment.
From everything I've heard, he was only out against Memphis as a cautionary thing, and he's good to go. He should be good to go. When do they play? Thursday or whenever they play?
Yeah,
he should be good to go. So
okay,
we'll see.
Thank God. Please, really hoping he's okay, because like
I think they get over Iowa regardless.
I agree with that.
I think
they get out of the first weekend for sure.
Regardless. I mean, he's going to be on the court. Whether he's 100% or not is yet to be seen. But regardless of that, I think they get out of the first weekend.
Okay, so here we go. The number 5 seed Miami Hurricanes versus the number 4 seed Indiana Hoosiers.
I have Indiana here.
I also have Indiana.
I just think Miami has no answer for TJD.
Trace Jackson Davis.
Take Indiana.
I also have Indiana.
I had them playing Drake, but yes, I
Me
took
too.
Indiana either way.
I took Drake in that game.
Drake.
Oh, you
The
did.
rapper is my team. To go to the
Listen.
16.
Drake.
Oh, so you have them beating
Listen.
Indiana.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I just said.
Nice. I'm just making sure that everyone knows. Dickhead. All right. So up next we have number 3 Xavier versus number 6 Iowa State. I have Xavier.
I'm sorry, we went Indiana in that one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
I also agree with
What?
Repeat.
Kid died in the middle of the sentence.
you guys didn't hear me?
No.
No.
Oh, I said I also agree with Xavier.
Okay.
Also Xavier.
Okay, so this one's interesting. Number 2 seed Texas versus the number 10 seed Penn State. This is where I have Penn State continuing their run and making it to the Sweet 16. I think they beat
Really?
Texas. Yes, I think they beat Texas.
Give me Texas.
I'm taking Texas. All my exes live in Texas.
I took Texas also. I wanted to take Penn State so bad. I wish I could have sent Penn State on a deep run, but they just did not get a good draw here. The way Texas is playing right now, I mean, they just absolutely took care, dick down, like whatever term you want to use for whatever they did to Kansas the other night. So it's tough. I like Penn State. I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game, but I'm riding with Texas and the Longhorns.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me the Longhorn.
Next up, we have the number 1 Houston Cougars. That wasn't me. I know you. It wasn't me. That's why I started laughing.
Bro, how hungry are you?
Number 1 Houston Cougars versus the number 4 seed Indiana Hoosiers. What do we
Give
got?
me Indiana.
I still have Houston moving on.
Houston.
I also have Houston.
I have Houston too because we want to talk about injuries to Marcus Sasser. Indiana's without Xavier Johnson, who's pretty much their secondary ball handler. And we know about those Houston guards. They're going to get up under you and make life miserable for you. Love Jalen Hood-Schifino as a prospect, however you want to call it. But I just don't think he can handle that pressure from Houston.
Facts. Agreed. Okay, so Houston overall consensusly. You
Yes.
said, Gene, you said Indiana you have in that.
Yeah, I love Indiana. Not just with not just because of what they do on the court, but because my boy Greg Hendricks from work is an IU alum. So I went Indiana all the way.
They win it all.
And shout out to my boy. I had him going to the Final Four.
Jeez. Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, I went off vibes there. That was a big vibes pick. But
Vibes. I like that.
some gut feelings.
I mean, Trace Jackson Davis, he could pull that team today. Who knows? All right. Up next, we got the number 2 seed Texas Longhorns versus number.
We got the Longhorns.
It's been a lot of reading, man. Two seed Texas Longhorns versus the number 3 seed Xavier. I had Penn State playing Xavier, but I still had Xavier winning, so I'm going to take Xavier over Texas.
Yes.
Xavier.
I-
I'm taking Xavier in that one. Yep.
All of you?
Sorry, Longhorns. All right, let's go.
Wow. I'm shocked, honestly. All of you guys? I have
Yeah.
Texas in this one. I mean, I guess Texas is my Final Four team from this region.
What the hell did you just do?
I just kicked my desk.
Sounds like you about to cry. You okay?
That hurt.
Okay, Chris.
All right, Chris, continue.
Yeah, I have Texas in this game. I just think Texas is going to be too much for a team like Xavier. Xavier's missing their big man. I got flamed for that in our my TikTok live the other night when I said Xavier could go on a Final Four run. I got absolutely toasted because I didn't know that their big man was out, who's been out all season, and they've been just fine without him. But he's out, so
No ball.
it's pretty much
You don't know ball, Chris.
yeah. That's what I was getting. I don't know, but Texas, I just think they have all the makings of a Final Four team. Man, they have the guard play, they have the big man front court depth. They went through adversity. They lost their goddamn coach halfway through the season and only got better as the season went on. So give me Texas, man, and the Longhorns.
Okay, but overall consensus, we have Xavier. Okay, so in our Elite Eight, we have Houston versus Xavier. I have Houston moving on.
I have
I
Houston
also
moving
have
on.
Houston.
I'll take Houston, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, all three of you guys have Houston.
Yes,
right?
so
fine.
regardless,
Yeah.
they're moving on.
Oh,
Taking
Sweden says I
Xavier.
got cooked in that live. Yeah,
So
dude.
we have Houston moving on.
Yeah.
But what do you?
I picked Xavier in that
Well,
matchup
he told you,
against.
he's picking.
Oh.
He picked Indiana to make the Final Four.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's
Okay.
what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
pick.
So
Shut
wow,
up.
this is my exact Final Four apparently. Okay, all right. Here we
Wow,
go.
You're so cool.
That's
The-
bad for you, buddy.
No, I know it is. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like not happy about it. This one might change. This bracket might change things. I mean, this region might change things. All right, so the number 1
True.
seed Kansas versus the number 16 seed Howard. Howard, nice.
Sorry, Howard.
Sorry, Howard.
Yeah, see
Sure,
you, Howard.
Yep.
Good guy. But
Give
you're
me-
gone.
See ya.
Give me Kansas.
Yeah, I have Kansas. As
Yes,
well.
sir.
Kansas.
Okay, on to the next one.
Ooh, go Kansas.
Number 8 Arkansas versus number 9 seed Illinois.
I'm
Who we
taking
got?
Arkansas in this one.
I'm also taking Arkansas.
Yeah.
The Razorbacks.
I actually have the Fighting Illini in this game. I have Illinois.
I have Illinois as well.
I have Arkansas. Those guards are just too much. Nick Smith got back and healthy, and he's rolling going into this. Arkansas hasn't been the best team, but they've dealt with some stuff. Having that guard tandem of Anthony Black and Nick Smith is tough. So I don't think Illinois is going to be able to handle that. And they got Jordan Walsh. I mean, come on.
To be fair, even with Nick Smith back, they haven't. been
No, they
very
haven't, but he's been great. Not great, but he's been, as the games have progressed, he's been getting better. They have guys. I don't know. I trust their offense more than Illinois, and I just trust them as a team more than Illinois, honestly.
Okay. Okay, so we consensusly had Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a trendy upset pick, actually. The number 5 seed St. Mary's versus the number 12 seed VCU. I took St. Mary's.
I have VCU here.
I have VCU, and I think this was a more popular pick for VCU to be taken over St. Mary's. I think, right?
I mean, me personally,
This was like a Of
This
the
was,
upsets,
this was a
popular.
trendy 12-5 upset. Yes.
Yeah.
Me personally, I know I'm going to lose this matchup because whatever I go for with St. Mary's, the opposite always happens. So I'm picking VCU to win, and St. Mary's is going to win.
By the way,
game,
this
by
was
the way.
this was
So,
yeah.
yeah, St. Mary's
Sick.
is going to win because I'm picking VCU.
Okay,
Perfect.
fantastic.
Then we're
Good to
good.
know.
Uh-huh.
But okay, overall, you guys picked
I have St.
VCU.
Mary's.
Oh shit! Oh, Sleazy goes to VCU. Shout out.
You? Oh, that's
Oh, they're going all the way now.
Yeah.
Never mind.
all right.
I'm doing this for Sleazy,
I
man.
gotta pick VCU now.
I have VCU. I just think they're both great defenses, but VCU does it in a different way. They're going to be up in your face, ball pressure, 6th in the countries, and turnover percentage forced. It's just going to be too much pressure for St. Mary's.
For sure. Okay, here we go. Up next, we have number 4 UConn versus number 13 Iona, the team that we mentioned before, where Tom used to go.
Yeah.
Tom
Shout
and
out
Jason.
Tom.
For
And
Tom.
Jason currently goes
For
there,
Tom,
doesn't he?
I'm taking Iona.
Wow.
Sorry, Tom.
I know
I'm
it's
taking
gonna
UConn.
lose.
Yeah, I'm taking UConn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. I don't
Shout
care.
out to Tom. As simple as that.
So UConn.
Yeah.
I have
Nice.
UConn also.
Okay.
Keep
All
the
right.
hoodie guy.
Up next, we have number 6 TCU versus number 11. This is one of the last 4 in games. It's Arizona State versus Nevada.
Mhm.
I actually picked TCU
Yeah,
regardless.
I have the Horned Frogs
I'm,
here.
I'm picking TCU, and my expert
TCU.
analysis is they have cool courts.
Nice.
True.
I have TCU also.
Cool.
No notes on them, though. They just exist.
All right. Next up, we have number 3 Gonzaga versus number 14 Grand Canyon University, a school that I swear to God I see a commercial for at least 5 times a day.
They do have a lot of
yeah.
commercials, honestly. Now that I never really thought about it.
Bro, the second I saw this team, I thought I see them in commercials all the fucking time. I hope they lose by 40.
Yeah. But my
So-
player to watch is Drew Timmy.
Nice.
His last tournament.
We've been watching them every year.
He really does pick the best players in every fucking region.
Bro, I don't know college ball like that, bro.
I mean, I don't
Had
either,
to.
but I was doing my research, man. I was trying
I
to
did
find
my
out.
research on him.
Nice.
He's bad to go stupid.
Nice. Okay. Wait.
We all have the Zags in this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It would be cool if Grand Canyon advances, though, because they'd play TCU according to us in the next round, and they almost have identical logos. TCU
They
and Grand
do,
Canyon.
yeah.
They
Oh my-
do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hopefully that happens.
Yeah, that would be
Wow.
pretty cool.
Didn't
The
hear
Battle
that.
of the Purple.
Yeah.
Ortiz versus Bardo almost.
Yo, the purple
TCU.
sections.
The purple gang.
Okay, up next, we have the number 7 seed Northwestern versus the number 10 seed Boise State. I have Northwestern moving on.
Yeah. For the
Also have
purple cycles,
Northwestern.
I also got Northwestern.
I have
Shout out.
Boise State.
Took Boise State.
I wrote both these teams are mid as my notes. Northwestern is not 319th in the country in effective field goal percentage, 315th in 3-point percentage, and Boise is the 31st best 3-point percentage defense. So
Boise
Wait.
has all 5 starters, averaging 10 plus.
that's always a good sign.
So here's a reason that I picked Northwestern. I saw that they average a bunch of steals per game, and Boise State actually has, I believe, the worst assist to turnover ratio in the entire tournament. So if you could force a lot of steals against a team that causes a lot of turnovers or coughs up the ball a bunch, I think it could be a recipe for disaster. So that's why I picked Northwestern in this one. All right. Lastly, in the first round, number 2 seed UCLA, number 15 seed UNCA, which means what? UNC Asheville.
Asheville.
There it is.
Who should be higher than a 15 seed?
This is where I want to highlight a player, and I said it before, and this is my first player that I'm taking that's like the best player in the
welcome to
Are
the
you
club.
kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
Come
I took arguably. I don't. He's not necessarily the best
Is
player
he the best player in the
in the
region?
region. Nah, it's definitely Drew Timmy. I'd say.
Is it? Could even be Jalen Wilson, man. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. But I took Jaime Jaquez, averaging
choice, man.
17 point.
Who else
what do
took
we
that
got?
guy?
17.3, 8.1, and 2.3, 47.4 from the field, 31.3 from 3, 77.3 from the line. He's a professional scorer. Obviously, the 3-point percentage doesn't exactly show that, but also they lost Jalen Clark, which is an issue for UCLA. And I think that means that Jaime Jaquez is going to have to step up a bit on the defensive side of the ball where he leverages some IQ and stuff there. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think they'll at least win the first round and go from there. But yeah, Jaime Jaquez, my guy to watch. So Johnny Juzang was an interesting guy. Not in the tournament anymore, obviously, but I remember when he used to be hooping for UCLA. So
They went on a run.
they did. Final
Lost to
four.
Jalen Suggs.
They lost in the
right?
Final Four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the Suggs buzzer beater?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
That was fucking crazy, bro. That was the moment I wanted Jalen Suggs to be the best player of all time.
He is
Honestly.
now. Look at
As a Nick, honestly, that's what I wanted. I wanted him to be a Nick. But all right, number 1 Kansas, number 8 Arkansas. I picked Kansas.
Kansas and Arkansas.
I had the Fighting
Yeah.
Illini here, but
I
I,
did
also
too.
went Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kansas.
Kansas.
Okay.
Kansas, but not that easily. Could be a game.
I agree.
I like Arkansas.
Okay, so next up we have number 4 UConn versus number 12 VCU. I took UConn. I had them playing against St. Mary's in this game, though.
Me too. Same thing.
I'm taking
I took-
UConn anyway. Yeah.
UConn.
Next up, we have the number 3 Zags versus number 6 TCU. I had Gonzaga moving on.
Gonzaga.
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 We all got
Yeah, I
Gonzaga.
feel like these are
Clears.
Trunks. Is the only upset you've picked so far Drake?
I think so.
No.
Listen.
Hey.
I don't feel like I have enough upsets in my bracket, but I have a few more than that. I don't really have them in my head like that. But
How many 12s do you guys have?
12s. I only have one advancing.
Okay.
It's VCU.
I have 2.
yeah, I have Drake. as a
Does
12.
anyone have 13?
I have 2.
You have a 13, Chris, going far, right?
Yeah, I have Furman going to the Sweet 16.
Okay. Anything below a 13 seed winning for anyone?
No.
Okay. Cool. I was just wondering with that. Any 11 seeds beating a 6 seed? Just want to double check.
I have Providence over Kentucky.
11.
I don't have my full bracket in front of me.
No, I have all 6s.
I have North Carolina State winning. Okay, that's my only 11. I was just wondering how many upsets we actually had here. So
I have a 10. I have 2 10 seeds winning.
I don't really consider a 7-10 an upset at all, really. But yeah, I have
2.
2 10 seeds winning as well. So I don't really consider that an upset, though. All right,
I do
lastly,
have one of these 10 seeds in my Sweet 16, though.
our last.
U- USC.
Okay. Our last second round matchup. I mean, number 2 Texas. Well, no, that was
Nope.
wrong.
UCLA.
Number 2 UCLA versus number 7 Northwestern. I was at the wrong part of the bracket. I have UCLA moving on.
UCLA.
Yep. UCLA.
I have Gonzaga.
Gonzaga doesn't play in this game.
Wait,
It's
which game?
UCLA and
Oh, where-
Boise State.
Oh, we're at Northwestern UCLA, right? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
UCLA. Sorry.
He did say Northwestern UCLA.
Okay, so next up we have number 1 Kansas versus number 4 UConn. I had Kansas moving. Actually, yeah,
I took UConn.
I took UConn. I took UConn in this game.
I have Kansas.
My Elite 8.
I also have Kansas.
So I have
You
UConn
are
in this
side
game.
Fact.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I have UConn in this game, and my player to watch actually plays for UConn on their basketball team.
Oh, okay.
The player is Jordan Hawkins, averages 16 points per game, shoots 37% from 3. And I just think overall UConn has too much size for Kansas. I think Kansas is lacking in size. UConn's the best offensive rebounding team in the country. They're 15th in three-point defense. And they have a big man in Adama Sanogo, who averages 17 and 7. And they're overall 19th in defensive efficiency. I think this UConn team is a little bit underseeded. And yeah.
They actually have the best big man tandem in the league at the 5. I mean, in the nation at the 5, and Sanogo and Klingon. The two of those guys are very good players. Not many teams can match up with that size combo right there. So next up, we have the number 2 seed UCLA and the number 3 seed Gonzaga. And UConn overall was the consensus one moving on. I had Gonzaga winning this game. I think Jalen Clark looms large. So
I'm going to Zags.
I took UCLA.
As you guys probably know, I have Gonzaga.
okay.
I have Gonzaga also. My note says no Jalen Clark equals too much pick and roll from the Zags.
Bingo.
Gonzaga in offense, number one adjusted offensive efficiency, 2nd in the country in 2-point percentage, 12th in 3-point percentage. And UCLA doesn't get to the free throw line, and they're a pretty average 3-point shooting team. So, yeah.
All right. Next up, the 3 versus the 4 in the Elite 8. We have the Gonzaga Bulldogs versus UConn Huskies. I have Gonzaga moving on to my Final Four.
Yep, so do I.
I have UConn advancing here.
I'll take Gonzaga here.
I'm kind of out of here. I had Kansas.
I know, but who would you pick in this
Who would you
game?
pick in this
UConn or
game, though?
Gonzaga?
UConn, Gonzaga.
Give me UConn.
So yeah, UConn's in my Final Four. I just think the matchup with Gonzaga could be tough for them because UConn, obviously Gonzaga's a great offense overall, but they do rely on 3-point shooting, and UConn is one of the best teams in the country in terms of guarding the threes. Then I have a question. Does Gonzaga have the size and physicality to match up with UConn? I don't know. That's why I have UConn advancing. Drew Timmy's a great player, but on the defensive end,
Yes, I agree with that statement. And also, if any team can throw bodies at Drew Timme, it's this team.
Right.
So yeah, but I do have Gonzaga moving on. Dean, who'd you pick?
I picked Gonzaga going to the Final Four.
All right. So here's our official Final Four. We have Arizona, Duke, Houston, and Gonzaga.
Only
is
one seed.
My Final Four.
That's 3 of my teams.
That's 4 of my teams.
Nice.
Sick. Okay, so we have number 2 Arizona versus number 5 Duke. I have Duke going to the national championship.
I have Arizona in my natty, so I'm going Arizona.
I'm going Arizona. This was my Final Four matchup. I think Duke does have the front court guys to match up with Arizona, but I just trust Arizona's other guys to make more shots.
My other team in the national championship is gone, so I'll take Arizona.
Yeah, I had Zona, Kentucky here. I'm taking. I had Arizona winning this matchup, so I'm going to stick with Arizona.
Okay. Who did you have in the national championship, Jim Kelly?
Marquette.
Cool. Okay. All right. So Arizona is moving on in our consensus bracket. Here we go. The 1-3 on the other side of the bracket. We have Houston versus Gonzaga. And in this game, I had Houston winning.
Houston.
I'd take Gonzaga in this game.
I have Gonzaga.
I personally had Texas and UConn, and I would pick Texas, but in this specific game, I'd take Gonzaga.
So Houston, Gonzaga. Because I had Kansas winning. So it's Houston.
Back to
Gonzaga.
back.
It's up to you, Ortiz.
Going to the championship,
Okay.
not winning. But I know it's up to me.
So that means you have Zona winning.
I have. No, I'm going to take Houston in this matchup. over
Okay. So
Gonzaga.
Houston moves on to the final. Houston versus Arizona. The number 1 seed Houston and the number 2 seed Arizona. Who do we got?
Give me
And
Houston.
What is your potential tiebreaker in this case? Since this is our
Oh, how are we doing it?
Ball
The
game
total
bracket.
score or the actual score?
total score.
Okay.
That's what Sleeper was asking for. So we'll go total
Mhm.
score.
I have Arizona. I'll give the total score 142.
I have Houston. I'll say total score is 146.
I have Houston. 149.
I
Dean,
you
you go. No, Dean, you go.
Okay. I have Arizona. Total score of 127.
I have Houston with a total score of 143.
Damn.
Okay. So who
Hu-
did we pick? Who did you pick?
Houston
Houston.
wins.
Yeah.
Houston wins the national championship in our bracket. Okay. And
So what do we want to put in our bracket that's being submitted for the tiebreaker?
so what were the numbers that we threw out there? We're going to have to average it out.
had
I threw
140
147.
I said 143.
147 plus 143 plus
142.
127.
127 plus 149 divided by 5. 142.
Wow.
There you go.
142 it is.
So
Oh, right. So whoever's in our bracket will be able to see it.
not yet, but
Not
They,
yet when it starts. I'm
eventually
gonna make a graphic with our full bracket so we can.
so yes, our ball game bracket has Houston defeating Arizona in the championship game with a total points scored of 142. If we want, do we want to give our score predictions too? Because that's tiebreakers and other types of formats. If we want to give a score prediction,
I don't feel like the score. Are you making me do math?
74 to 60. I don't know. This isn't
Yeah.
even my national championship game. I
Yeah,
don't give a
it's not
fuck
my
what the
national
score of this
championship game.
That is true.
hypothetical game is.
Yeah.
all right, there we go. Houston winning the national championship for the ball game bracket. So,
142.
go.
so each of our national champions were who? our actual national champions. You had
Houston.
I had Kansas. I had Kansas.
You had
I had Kansas going back to back.
Chris had Arizona.
Bro, he just asked you, did you have Kansas going back to do you have Kansas going back to back? And you said,
No.
yeah. No, I don't have them going back to back. And he was like, so
They're
you have
gonna-
Arizona winning it all then, right? And you said, yeah.
No, I said no. I said no to that question too. I didn't understand the first one. I didn't correct myself, so I just said no to Arizona.
You're losing me, brother.
Okay.
Wait, so you have Kansas winning
I
the
have
national
Kansas,
champ-
yes.
and repeating.
Yes.
Okay,
That would be what happens if they win.
cool. Chris, you said Arizona. Dean, who is your national champion?
My national championship pick was Arizona.
Arizona. You said Houston.
Houston.
I am also Houston. Okay. All right. Well, BallGame seem to agree with us now. My exact final four. Fantastic. Hopefully Duke beats Arizona. That's the only difference here. All right. So there's that. That's our BallGame bracket, and that's our March Madness picks. So fun time.
What a great time.
Fun time. Time's fun when you're having flash. So
It really is.
all right. Next up, I guess we'll run a little segment that we call blind ranking former college players based on their stats. I just gripped that so essentially.
I felt that shit from Jersey.
Firmly grasp it. Okay, so I'm gonna run down from player A stats, and then I'm gonna run down player B stats.
No.
You guys
A,
write it
A,
down so
B,
you fucking have it.
But
I
yeah,
don't have
please
to
do
A,
A, B,
A,
A, B.
Oh, A, B, A, B.
That's how
Okay.
we-
That's what I meant.
been
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay.
A.
All right. All right, here we go. Player A is averaging 14.1 points per game. Player B is averaging 16.1 points per game. Player A is averaging 10.2 rebounds per game. Player B is averaging 8.2 rebounds per game. Player A is averaging 2.2 assists per game. Player B is averaging 1.5 assists per game. Player A is shooting 49.7% from the field. Player B is shooting 58.5% from the field. And player A is shooting 25% from three, while player B is shooting 32.9% from three. There you go.
Give me player B.
I'm also going B.
Player B easily.
Definitely taking player B.
He's trapped.
Wait,
us.
are these players? You said they are averaging. These guys are currently doing this?
Oh, I
or-
meant to say they averaged in their
Oh.
college career. So the first player played 2 seasons in college, while the second player played 3 seasons in college. So you took player B.
player B.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to? You're not going to guess this actually. So the first player, I'll give you guys a hint. San Diego State University. Wonder where this is going.
Why not?
This is not getting guessed. The second player is from Kentucky. And it's Patrick Patterson,
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Patrick
former
Patterson.
NBA journeyman.
Nice.
That's the only reason I picked the stats and
I figured.
that I did, because
Yeah.
he's has far better college numbers than Kawhi Leonard did. So, all right, I'll go one more. Here we go. Player A, for his college career, which was all 4 seasons, 21.3 points per game. Player B, 18.7 points per game. Player A averaged 6.3 rebounds per game. Player B averaged 2.6 rebounds per game. Player A averaged 2.7 assists per game. Player B averaged 3.7 assists per game. Player A shot 47% from the field. Player B shot 45.5% from the field. Player A shot 37.7% from three, and player B shot 39.4% from three. Both players played full careers at college.
Probably go player A.
I'm sorry. Can you say the percentages one more time?
I'm going
45.
player A.
Player A shot 47 from the field and 37.7 from three.
Mm-hmm.
Player B shot 45.5 from the field and 39.4 from three.
I'll go player A.
I'll go A.
Dean, who do you have?
Player A.
Okay. All right. So the first player went to Lehigh. There's only one player in the NBA.
CJ McCollum.
Yes, sir. And player B went to BYU. And who's the first person that comes to mind when you went to BYU?
Jimmer.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Jimmer Fredette averaged like 27 in his final season in college.
Can you just like say player A is CJ McCollum?
Yeah. Player A is CJ McCollum, and player B is Jimmer Fredette.
I like
I
that
was
you were
thinking
like
the
trying to
same
be
thing.
cute and all that, but like editing a TikTok, it's not gonna make me
I thought
happy.
it was cute, Matt. Don't worry.
But yeah, so Jimmer in his final season in college averaged like 27. So that man was fucking different. And CJ McCollum beat a 2 seed as a 15 seed. So both guys successful college careers.
Blind rank these current college players based on their stats. Player A is averaging 13.5 points per game. Player B is also averaging 13.5 points per game. Player A is averaging 3.7 assists per game. Player B is averaging 1.5 assists per game. Player A is averaging 4.1 rebounds per game. Player B is averaging 5.2 rebounds per game. Player A is shooting 42% from the field. Player B is shooting 50% from the field. Player A is shooting 34.7% from 3. And player B is shooting 39.3% from 3.
Give me player B.
Player B.
I'm sorry, what are the splits again?
Player A is shooting 42.2% from the field and 34.7% from 3. And player B shoots 50% from the field and 39.3% from 3.
Give me B. I'll take the efficiency.
I'm also going player B.
So player A was projected lottery pick Jalen Hood-Schifino, and player B was a guy that I mentioned earlier, FAU guard Janelle Davis.
Nice. God damn, the splits are crazy. But yeah, all right. So Dean, I believe you had something as well.
So I had a special segment today. Who he play for, college edition. So what we're going to be doing is it's going to be all time random NBA players. We're going to be guessing, not guessing. Well, if you do know, you know what colleges they played for.
If you know, you know.
I'm gonna do so bad at this.
Are we doing like an order, or like we could just blurt out the answer once we know?
So I mean, you can blurt out the answer if you know it. Yeah, because
Okay.
there's really no like one could be harder than the other, so it's not really fair to do different players for each people. Okay. Zach Collins,
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Kent Bazemore.
Marquette?
No.
No. Where did Ken Bazemore play?
I actually have no idea.
I feel like it's I think it's a Western school.
I agree.
Give me Kansas.
Did not go to Kansas. He
Washington.
seems like a Kansas player. Not Washington.
Washington. It's not Oregon. No.
All right.
Okay, it's not one of the top colleges.
No.
Washington State.
No, you guys don't know. I'll let you know.
Who he played for?
Yeah.
He played for Old Dominion.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was never guessing
never
that.
guessing Old Dominion.
All right. Who did Hassan Whiteside play for?
I have no idea.
Who he played for, Dean?
I would guess just
He
because.
played for Marshall. All right, cool.
Were you gonna guess Marshall?
No, I was guessing Georgetown.
All right. David Robinson. Make it a little bit easier.
Navy.
Navy.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Patrick Beverly.
Oh no.
Illinois.
No.
No. Oh my
Seems
god.
like he would play on Illinois.
Yeah.
I don't know why. SMU.
No.
Yeah, he didn't go to. Why am I thinking Louisville? No.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
All right. Patrick Beverly went to Arkansas.
Oh,
We
I
suck.
should have known that.
All
Fuck.
right.
There's a lot of colleges out there. I mean,
There is
Pas-
colleges.
Who did Pascal Siakam play for?
New
Nevada.
Mexico State.
Oh yeah, New
New
Mexico State.
State. Yep. Scottie Pippen.
Vanderbilt? No. No. His son went to
His son went
Vanderbilt.
to Vanderbilt.
Scottie Pippen played for.
Yeah, I got no shot. Marquette.
No.
That's what I was thinking too. I don't know why.
Oh, I know it,
Wait.
bro.
It's down south.
It's a school that has their direction in the name. You know what I'm saying? Like a school that has north in their name or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right, Chris.
I know. I just can't put my finger on it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Northern Alabama State.
No, definitely not that.
It's a region and then the name of a state. No.
Something Kentucky.
Nah, it's gonna be Central Arkansas.
Oh,
Scottie Pippen
yeah.
played for.
Mm,
All right, Troy Brown Jr. Who did he play for?
Oregon,
yes.
Play for Oregon. DeMontis Sabonis
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
and Karl Malone. Who
I
did he
don't
play
know.
Nope,
for?
nope. I don't
Mississippi
even want that
State.
man involved
Nope.
in this fucking show. Fuck
He
him.
played for Louisiana
all
Tech.
the people
Out of all
you
the
could've
people you
Louisiana
could have
Tech.
picked, you picked Karl
choose him?
Malone.
All right, my bad. Alfred
Why-
Payton.
Why was he on your mind?
Alfred Payton.
Also went to Louisiana Tech.
No. Close, but no.
Marquette.
Regular Louisiana.
He went to Louisiana Lafayette. All
Oh,
right, that's all I have for today.
Lafayette.
That was hard.
That
Sorry,
was
guys.
tough,
Yeah.
man.
terrible. We suck.
I didn't want to make it because there's
Oh.
there's players that everybody knows what college they played for, so I wanted to make it a little bit tough, but too tough. Sorry.
It was all right. It wasn't that bad. It was. We just don't know everybody's colleges, so it is what it is. But yeah, I think that is that. Trunks, you got some?
College career over unders. So keep track
That's
of your score.
crazy.
Yeah, there's.
Bro,
Well, yeah, he didn't do it. So I
He
did it.
stole it.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, I had to. Drew Timmy career points over under 2,200.
Over.
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 The over is correct. 2210. Adam Morrison career points over under 1,900.
Over.
Under.
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 The under 1867.
Fuck.
J.R. Smith points over under 1,500.
Under.
Under.
College stats?
He
J.R.
did
Smith
not.
didn't go to college, bro.
Trying
That
to
was
trick-
that was a trick.
one,
that was the
brother.
point.
That was a bad
Good
trick.
That was the point.
Under.
Shit. Yeah, the under's correct at 0. Jim Fredette, 3-pointers over under 300.
Under.
Under.
Over.
Wait.
Over.
For his entire. Oh fuck. I said
Ah,
under. I
shit,
said under.
no.
So I'm.
It
I'm,
is-
I'm gonna.
It's-
ride
It
with
is
it's not
career.
over. It's not over. It's under.
The under is correct. 296.
His
Mhm.
first 2 seasons, he barely did much.
Peyton Pritchard, career blocks under 5.
Over.
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 Over. Yeah.
The over is right at 7.
Yo, I'm on a roll. Got these all right.
What are
Bro,
the
me
stats
too.
looking
Me
like?
too, bro.
Huh?
What are the stats looking like? What we got?
Oh.
Scores.
I've got everyone correct.
Oh,
I think it's 5
So,
for them too.
well, shit. All right.
Yeah.
we're on the
I
last
also
one
I also
here.
have 5.
Oh wow.
Oh,
We're on the
shit.
last one.
I'm
So
ass.
You didn't have a tiebreaker.
if I'll get one if I have
Nice
to.
guy.
Paul Pierce blocks over under 90.
Under.
Over.
I'm gonna go under.
Well, it doesn't matter my response.
Well, the over is correct at
Wow.
98.
Go!
Congrats,
Dean
Dean.
won.
Let's get it.
Congrats, Dean.
Cool. That wasn't that cool winning that.
Congrats, Dean. You got way more excited than
I was
you
trying to
thought.
stump someone with the J.R. Smith. I hope someone looks stupid, but they didn't.
No.
I was trying.
we knew that, little bro.
Little
Yeah.
bro.
That's crazy.
You just got
Yep.
little bro.
That's
What do
crazy.
you mean?
You did just get a little bro.
You're like 5'3".
I said what I said.
Damn.
Wow, bro. Sick fucking comeback.
You call me little bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you stuck through the whole stream, appreciate you. Please be sure to follow us on all of our socials in that description below on our link tree. Leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Today was the March Madness episode, so please be sure to go join our bracket. Hit us up for more details on any of our social media platforms. Shoot us something in the Discord too. Anything, just hop in. $25, as I said at the start. First, second, and third place prizes. Please be sure. We want that thing to be as big as possible so those 3 people can get as much money as possible. So with that being said,
Check out our TikTok tonight. We might run a bracket on TikTok Live tonight and let you guys fill it out. We'll run a poll for every game and let you guys fill out a bracket on TikTok Live
That'll be a
sometime
good
later
time.
tonight.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And with that,
That was ball game.
Ball game.